photographer from Sacramento. Make it loud for Angel Castro!
I'm not gonna lie, Punch. I'm a little bit upset tonight. I told my roommate I was gonna come out and do a show. I put on some of my best clothes. I asked him, how do I look? He took a glance at me and he was just like, you look like an overweight Mexican hipster Hook Clark Kent. Like, that's not right. But he's not wrong though. I am Mexican and I know sometimes that throws people off because I'm a light-skinned Mexican. You know? Woo! Anytime I put on anything with the collar, people just think I'm a manager at a Taco Bell. You guys ever realize that all the managers are always the light-skinned Mexicans? I think it's because we can communicate with both sides of the counter. Like 1 minute I could be like, hey Martina, put on the way! I could turn around and be like, I'm so sorry, man, we're all out of gorditas tonight. Yeah, man, I grew up a couple years in Mexico with my grandma. My grandma raised me. I try to catch up with her every now and then to see how she's doing. I called her up recently. I was like, hey, abuelita, how you doing? What are you up to? She just goes, oh, nothing, mijo, just here waiting for a stroke. Dude, the older people say stuff like that, right? I'm starting to notice this more. She's 90 years old, you guys. We're celebrating her 90th birthday together as a family. We were all excited. We said, Grandma, may you have many more. She just looked at me and she was like, dos no más. And like, I kid you not, I walked through the living room the other day and I saw her on the couch like this. I started freaking out. I was like, oh my God. My mom saw me. She's like, no, it's okay. Relax. That's just how she sleeps. I was like, what is she practicing? God damn. It scared the shit out of me. But I didn't always live with my grandma. I moved out here to the Bay Area, lived with my parents, my mom and my dad, which was very different. Because like, my mom's a very tough mother, you guys. Super tough mother. Anybody here have a tough mother growing up? Some people? Well, see if this sounds familiar. Like, my mom is so tough, she made my dad do all the cooking and the cleaning while she sat on the couch scratching her balls. Yeah, man, my dad was always running around scared and made us wonder if he's the one that gave birth to us, like some kind of Mexican seahorse. Yeah. But when I lived out here, I lived in San Leandro, went to San Leandro High. Anybody familiar with San Leandro? Yeah. Some people? Well, for those that aren't familiar, San Leandro High is most famous for black and Mexican riots. Tensions was high between the two races. The way the school decided to deal with it was bringing in the sheriff's department with beanbag guns on the rooftops. You can look this up, it's a true story. Which I thought was fucked up, they decided to shoot beans at Mexicans. They didn't even feel bad too, they were just like, oh, you missed breakfast, Jose? Well, here's some lunch. It's the way it is though, man, it's the way it is. I ended up going to college, I'm a college-educated Latino. I lived in Davis for college, which was very different for me. Davis made me realize exactly how hood I was, because apparently only people from the hood lock up their things. You don't know how many times I would go over to friends' house and they'd be like, oh my God, somebody stole my bike. Try to be sympathetic and be like, oh man, they broke your lock and took it? They'd tell me stupid shit like, no, I left it on the front porch unlocked. I had to correct them. Oh, you mean you gifted it away? That's what you did. Because that's what we called it in San Leandro. If you're walking around and you see something unlocked, you're just like, Christmas came early this year. Just walk away with that. It's the way it goes, man. It's the way it goes. My parents were a little bit physically abusive, you know, but I didn't realize this until I started dating my girlfriend in college. Because like my girlfriend loved to give me hugs, you guys. She always loved it. And I had no problem with it, but this one time she came in from behind. I just saw that hand and I went, oh shoot. She was like, what's wrong? I was like, I don't know. I just got the sudden urge not to talk back. She was like, well, you better not. And that's where I knew that she was the one. Because she said it while she was scratching her balls. That's the way it is, man. It's the way it is. I ended up becoming a substitute teacher, but I try to be a real substitute. Oh, thank you so much. It's all right, though. I try to be a real sub with my students, you know, prepare them for the real world, which is why when somebody comes up to me and says, Mr. Castro, do I really have to do this assignment? I usually look at them and say, no, you should just memorize the menu for Taco Bell, kid. And like during the pandemic, when all the schools were closed down, my friends and family that are parents would come up to me and they'd be like, Angel, what's gonna happen to our kid? Are they gonna fall behind? I tried to reassure them, calm them down. I was like, don't worry, he wasn't gonna be a rocket scientist anyway. Yeah, man. I'll leave you guys with this last joke. Did you guys know that Superman is the most Mexican superhero there is? Yeah. I mean, the guy left his homeland because he was going to shit. He came to this one without papers, and he works under a different identity. I know a Mexican when I see one. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's an undocumented alien. That's what that is. And like, I'm pretty sure he keeps on trying to save Lois Lane because he thinks he's gonna get his papers that way. You know what I mean? That's been my time. My name's Angel Castro. Bring back your host.